Hello my lovelies, welcome back to SaneTresses. Okay guys, so whilst I'm just blending in that foundation, hello, if you're new to my channel, my name is Kudzi, and if you're an oldie by the goldie, welcome. Okay, so I'm just blending this Huda Beauty for Filtr foundation onto my eyebrows. Guys, I never used foundation like this, but if you've watched the previous video of mine testing weird beauty hacks, then that's what's up. So I'm also just setting that with the Mercier translucent setting powder. So why are we here, guys? Why are we here? Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you how to do purpley, burgundy eye look that I just tried out one day and I really liked it. And some of you guys just asked me to do a detailed tutorial on how I did it, and I had just recorded it, so that's good. So I'm just going to be using the Huda Beauty Desert Dust palette, and I'm going to use the shade Blazing, which is like an orangey shade. So if you're a woman of color, even if you're not, okay, so this is called a transition color. This is just a color that is somewhat close to your skin tone, and you have to put it in the crease, which is just where you see, just underneath your bone structure, the bone that you have on your eye. So just putting that transition color helps to blend all the other shadows that are going to be on top, so that they have a gradient and like a seamless, transition from like darker to lighter colors. So I'm going to deepen that look using the color Amber. So that's just going right underneath, that bone that you have on your eye socket, and just that outer V. Okay, so it's called the outer V. So I'm just placing that color, darkening it right on the outer V. And most of the dark colors technically and mostly go on the outer V, but with makeup is an art. So you can do whatever look you like. Sometimes you can put it darker colors in the inner corners, but in this case I used it in my outer. So because it's a purpley burgundy tutorial, I going in with amethyst, and yes, so I'm just using a shader brush right there, and I'm just working that color. I just wanted to fill that section in so that that purple can come out. Okay, so that's just darkening and intensifying that outer V. So as you can see with the orangey shade on top, it's creating like a gradient of colors, and just go back and forth. Okay, so to the technical stuff, sellotape and scissors. Okay, so that it's not that sticky, we don't want to pull out hairs. So I'm just rubbing off extra stickiness onto the back of my hand and just going in. So if you look very closely, right guys, I'm aligning this with the lower lash line. So the lower bit of my eye, I can still have access to it and put color on it. Look closely. And then it aligns with the upper bit. So today we're going to be trying out an eyeshadow liner. So sometimes you go in with an actual eyeliner. Today we're going to use a darker eyeshadow. So for this, I'm going into my Too Faced Sweet Peach palette, and I'm going to be using this darker purpley color called Delectable. So I'm using a smudge brush from Zoeva as well. And as you can see now, that sellotape or that sticky tape helps to guide me to make that very nice straight line across. So I'm just thickening it on the end. This is an easier way and kind of like a smudge proof way of doing your winged eyeliner. I know sometimes when you're using like actual ink, it can be a bit daunting, but I really like how easy it is to actually use an eyeshadow, a darker eyeshadow as your eyeliner. So you should try it, guys. Okay, so I'm just making sure that it kind of points, like where the tail of my eyebrow is and the pointy bit of my eyeshadow liner. If you were to continue both of them, they will kind of meet. But yeah, that's the idea of how you kind of want to wing it out. So I'm going in with my Huda Beauty foundation, which I have been using apparently as a concealer these days. So that's a good trick to put your concealer and then kind of look down, and wherever it hits is where you should cut your crease. So this is called cutting your crease. Okay, so we're just not really shading whatever work we've done. I know sometimes it might look pointless, but we're just kind of like erasing. It's like an eraser, and we're kind of sculpting out, like mapping out a particular area that we really want to focus some certain colors and some certain shades on, if that makes sense. So normally if you cut a crease, you go in with like the foiled eyeshadows, like the sparkly eyeshadow, the glittery eyeshadows, because as you've noticed with the darker colors and the eyeshadow liner, I used all the dark eyeshadows. So kind of that's, you know, kind of how it works. But you know, like I said, makeup is an art and you can do whatever you want. So now I'm going in with that purpley darker shade called Royal, and I'm just spraying my Smokey shader brush from Zoeva. And as you can see, like what I was saying, if I was to try and go in without putting that concealer down, it wouldn't have come out as pigmented, and it wouldn't have had a chance to shine because there's other colors beneath, you know, that type of thing, because we put our transition. So your concealer is like an eraser, putting a blank canvas on your eye so you can now layer on the actual color that you want and place it right where you want it. So I'm doing that same thing to the other side of my eye. And also it's good for you to actually blend, you know, the darker bits. Wherever there's two colors, you should make sure you don't leave demarcation line on. You have to kind of blend it. Another trick to actually get these foiled look is to use your finger, because that just brings out the color more. So now I'm going in with the shade Twilight, which is lighter than the shade earlier. So when I was looking into it, it had like purpley hues, but when I placed it on my eye, it actually had like kind of bluish purpley tints, but that's all right because that works out anyway. So I'm just placing it right on the inner corner, you know, that inner third of the eye, and making sure that I blend in between. So now I'm going in with an eyeliner brush from Zoeva and just making sure that I really cut that crease, make sure that edge is perfect and straight. So that's what's good to use. And I'm just going in with the darker purpley shade as well, Royal, and doing the same. So I was feeling a bit fancy, you know, and I decided to extend it and kind of take that dark purpley shimmery shade right on top of my eyeshadow liner, just to kind of cut it and just, you know, to bring some, you know, va-va-voom and to zhuzh it up a bit. Now I'm going in with the same brush and going back in, because you know we were putting more colors and it kind of erased our eyeshadow liner. So I'm just perfecting it and making sure that I have the line back. And as you can see now, that outer V, that dark shade connects to my lower lash line, so that's why we left that space. So now going in with the Kat Von D Touchy liner in the shade Trooper, which is black. I'm just going in right on my lash line and just putting that black look. I'm not going to create a wing with it, I'm just simply lining my lash line. Okay, and using my favorite eye pencil, which is the Bobbi Brown Longwear eye pencil, I'm just going to tight line my eyes. So this is just to make sure that there are no gaps, you know, like when you're creating an eye look, you want everything, like any spots to be covered. And I'm just going in with my Bobbi Brown Smokey Eye Mascara, which I totally love because it's not wet and it's not clumpy. Done now. Ouch! I'm joking. Okay guys, so I think we're done. Now what's left to do is to wipe, you know, the fallout, so everything that was falling out from the eyeshadow we did. So when you're doing a colorful look, sometimes it's very good to actually do your foundation later after you've done your eyes. I go back in with my eye cream and my primer and all that good stuff. Now I'm just going back in because my right eye kind of waters a lot, and that's it guys. Okay, doing the rest of my makeup and I'll be back. Okay guys, so this is the final look. I've finished doing the rest of my makeup. Let me know what you think. Do you like it? Do you think it's a nice purpley, you know, burgundy look for definitely something glam that you need to go to? This is not an everyday thing. This is like a once-off, every now and then, you know, purpley look. So I hope you like it. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. If you like what I do, give it a thumbs up and comment down, because I love to see your comments. Thank you so much, guys, and until next time, God willing, it's bye bye.